through this stuff, man. What's going on?
Look, so you guys could know what the fighters go through. See, because a lot of times, I'm not saying you guys, but because you guys have been around boxing for a lot of time, but there's a lot of people that, you know, there was this one time that there was a big name. I'm not gonna say who or anything, but there was a big name that was offered a big fight at a certain weight, and he rejected that fight because he couldn't make weight. And then a heavy reporter said, how could he reject millions of dollars and not lose 4 pounds? Because 4 pounds is and sounds like a little bit, but when a fighter is cutting weight, those last 3-4 pounds, they kill you. Well, bottom line is that reporter said, how could you reject millions of dollars and not lose instead of losing 4 pounds? So Dr. Anderson, heard that, and he told him, you don't lose weight to save your life. You should lose weight to save your life instead. Told him that. You don't know what a fighter goes through. Those last 4 pounds is what kills a fighter. And I'm not saying, like I'm telling you, I'm not saying you guys. You're sweating, fucking 3-minute workout, and makes you work. No, it's not easy. And then when it comes to losing weight, it's hard. So you gotta. I'm not gonna say.
You could guess.
But it happened. It happened. And Dr. Anderson told him, you don't know what a fighter goes through. For $1 million, you should do it to save your life. You should lose weight to save your life. If he can't lose 4 pounds, it's because he's gonna kill himself. You got to do it just to save your life, not for $1 million. That was that. But it's true. But if you think about it, it's true. We get a lot of fighters that don't like. When Brandon didn't make weight, people don't see what he went through. Fucking man.
5-6 days.
Exactly. Fucking passing out 3 or 4 times, working out, trying to make weight. Mikey, well, people seen that on HBO when he fought, when he even threw up.
Run up on the elevator,
because he just, they go through a lot to make weight. And that was that day of the win. People don't know what happened 3-4 days before without eating or drinking water or anything. See, that's what a lot of people don't see in a boxer. You got to respect a boxer that struggles and tries, gets there to make weight, because it's not easy. Every fighter, goes through a lot to make weight.
And they say MMA fighters actually burn more during the week of the fight, so it's probably worse for them.
It's bad, but most of the people don't see that. They only see what the fight. They're making a lot of money. They don't see what fighters go through.
8 weeks, 10 weeks of training and everything.
Yeah, it's not easy. That's good for him. I know he's been getting a lot of criticism. From the test that he failed, and then he didn't want to enroll on that WBC
mandatory
thing that they do year round. But he went on his own and did it with a company. I don't know, Vara or USADA, whichever one it was. And that says a lot. He's clean and wanting to prove everybody that that he's a clean fighter. I respect him for that.
What do you make of people still saying?
Look,
criticizing him, even after,
especially when you have an athlete that's very successful and that has accomplished so much and is in the eyes of everybody. There's always going to be criticism. There's always going to be people hating. There's always going to be people criticizing. I could have 10 world champions and people could still say I suck as a trainer. I'm always going to get that, and all we got to do is laugh about it. Canelo, let's move on. Do your thing. Do your testing, which is good. I respect him for that. And when it comes to fighting, well, he's done his job. In the ring. He makes, like, I don't know the number that De La Hoya has. I think $40 million a fight. So maybe that's why everybody hates. Enjoying. They're doing something right. So gotta respect that.
What about we were hearing rumors about Mikey and Easter? Is that done, or is that still rumor at the moment?
Look, as of now, I think it's still a rumor because, well, I haven't talked to him. Mikey hasn't been to the gym. There's still like 10 weeks for the fight, so he's in Miami right now, and then I think tomorrow he leaves to Hawaii, so he won't be. I believe. I don't even know what they're gonna do, but he's going to Hawaii for something to do with that guy that fights MMA. Yeah, I get Max Holloway. I don't know what they're gonna do, but bottom line is they're going to Hawaii, and when he comes back, I'm sure he's gonna start training Monday. So as of now, I don't think there's anything official, but I've been reading everywhere, and everybody's talking about the fight, and it looks like it's done. Until Mikey confirms it, then I could tell you guys it's a done deal. But you know, what I read, it looks like everybody thinks it's done. Hopefully it is, because that's a good fight, interesting fight. Look, it's crazy because when
and then the rumors were that Dana signed him, Dana White.
That's what I was gonna say. When Kevin O'Reilly posted that up on Instagram, I believe, I got a text message from Eddie Hearn. It says, Robert, before Mikey does anything, I got a big thing coming up. It was a week before he brought up that new deal that he's got with for $1 billion or whatever. He says, look, Robert, he sent me a text. He says, I read what's going on with Dana White. I would like to make Mikey an offer. So I told him, well, let me tell Mikey. So I texted Mikey right away. Mikey says, give him my number. So he did call Mikey, send him an offer. Mikey screenshotted that offer, and believe me, it's a hell of an offer. It's an offer that nobody with Top Rank or nobody with HBO, or not HBO, with Golden Boy is making. But it's still not as good as what Mikey's already doing, what Mikey's already making. So Mikey did tell him, look, you don't know my process. I'm already making a lot more than what you already offered. So he sent him a new one last night, and it is good. It is a hell of an offer. So I don't know what Mikey's gonna do, but it's still not more than what Mikey could already make in his next fight. You know what I mean? It's still a really good offer, but it's still not more than what Mikey is already going to be making in his next fights. So you know, I think he still probably has to go up a little more, or depending on Mikey, depending on who he offers, who Mikey's going to fight, that's what's probably going to make a difference. But then that same day, I got a call from a promoter that I would never expect that promoter to say they wanted to make Mikey an offer.
Robert, what do you think? Mars, I told him his hand speed and his power.
Right?
He said
fucking unbelievable, bro.
Brought it out.
He's
bringing it out.
I knew Abner had that from previous fights when he was champion at 118, 122. But for a few fights, a couple of years, he kind of focused on something else. But that's what I'm gonna bring that back. And look, he's 32, I believe, and what he's doing in his two last fights. What he's done in his last two fights, but what he's doing in the gym and sparring partners, young, hungry, talented sparring partners, what he's doing in the gym is, you know, he's like a new Abner or as good or even better than he was at 118 and 122.
Like, Lopez, Chino Maidana, Abner Mars, you give him a second chance here.
Look, those are the most recent. You know, don't forget Brian Viloria. Man, that was my second world champion. Stevie Luevano, don't forget. Yeah, exactly. Even Kelly Pavlik, he didn't have that much time with me. We didn't have that many fights. But that one or two fights that we had together, people seen a difference. Kelly Pavlik, all right? But you know, Brian Viloria, man, everybody thought he was done. Nobody cared about him. He came to me and he became a world champion.
The first fight you weren't there. It's a rematch. How many times have you studied the first fight?
Look, I don't need to study the fight every day. I'm doing my work with Abner, and I already know how Leo fights, and we already know what he could do. He's a hell of a fighter. He's very talented. But I'm focusing on my work with Abner and what he's doing in the gym and sparring. You know, you guys can't, but I wish you guys could see it. Well, I think you've seen it. You can't record it, but
yeah, we can't record.
This guy is, you know, he's doing a hell of he's unbelievable right now, man. He's the work he's doing, you know, not only physically but mentally. The speed that he's got, the power is going to surprise the world.
Since the last fight, everybody's talked about Mars' progression. Have you seen any in Leo?
Look, I seen a very, very good game plan on the rematch with Frampton. He fought really good. So I also have to have, you know, people, you know, or people have said, oh, Leo's, you know, fights the same way, and he's been very successful. And yes, he just comes right out, he throws a lot of punches, and it's been very successful. But when he lost that fight to Frampton, and then he came back, he didn't fight the same way. He fought very, very smart and very good, and we got to know that. They also know that Abner's been looking better, so I'm sure they're also doing a great job in training camp, and Leo's dad is very smart too, so they're gonna, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they fight differently too, so it's gonna be a hell of a fight, you know. At the end of the day, they're both fighting in their hometown, they're both gonna have fans, and they're gonna want to please their crowd, so we're probably gonna end up seeing another war, another fight that we did like like we did the first time, and you know the fans are the ones that are going to be happy with the results.
Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else